Oh, she just walked away. Maybe I'm starting. I don't know what's going on. Welcome,
Sorry, guys. I
welcome.
had like a random phone call from Autumn, Autumn Hill, and she's like, "Hey, well, I didn't answer it because I was on the call." And then she texts me. She's like, "I need somewhere to change my clothes." So she must be in town. And I had to hurry and unlock the door for her and stuff. So she's going to be walking in any minute. That's going to be a fun team surprise. But I'm happy to start the call. You've got it recording, right, Nicole? You do? Okay, perfect. Okay, so you guys, we're going to talk about Leaders Retreat. And I know that we've talked about this a lot this week because this is the third call that our upline has done. And I hope that we can find some clarity and you guys can feel confident about it because guess what? If you're feeling like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to get on that boat? There's no way I'm going to have the potential or the momentum or the intentions to get there. And I want you to know that Nicole and I, who are going to help answer your questions, help you find clarity, help map it out, we have both felt that way. In fact, I have been living these emotions all week. And I'm going to get really vulnerable right now because 2 days ago, I told Nicole, I can't do this anymore. This is too hard. This is a lot of pressure. I feel like I'm failing my team. I feel like I'm failing myself. I feel like I'm failing Plexus. Like, what can I do? Like, ask Nicole. Nicole, I'm on point, right? I told her literally 2 days ago, I was like, I can't do this as I'm like trying to cheer on you guys. It's really hard to be a leader sometimes and to feel like, not that I'm in charge of everyone's success on my team, and Nicole feels the same pressure for her other legs too, and for my leg, but we want to be the best leader for you guys, and we want to live and lead by example. And so I want to dive into the next hour of how to find that clarity that you can do it, but you have to set intentions to do it. 2 days ago, I told Nicole I wasn't even going to go for it. I was done. I was checked out. I leave for Hawaii tomorrow. I was like, nope, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to do it.
She's talking
Well,
about black tie, sweeping the
yes,
Nashville contest, just so, because
yes,
she didn't
not
really
not the
clarify that.
boat, not the boat, not Leaders Retreat. This is all about convention,
Yeah,
okay?
she's like, I'm not
And
gonna, there's just no way. I'm like 300 points away. There's no way I can get it.
like I was just like, I'm done. And I was frustrated. I had a lot of emotion. You guys, 1 second. I'm so sorry. She's asking for my address and I don't want to leave her hanging. Okay, so I had a lot of emotion. I was angry. I was frustrated. I was like, I should have done this a long time ago. We have such a big team. We're growing. My team's in momentum. Like, I had so many emotions and frustrations that I told Nicole I was done. I was checked out. But guess what? Those 300 points that I got within the last 24 hours came from one person. And if I would have said, okay, Nicole, I'm done, which I did, I was like, I'm good. I don't need to go to black tie. It's fine. If I would have stopped intentionally showing up, guess where I would be at right now? Still needing 300 points. So last night on our way to run some Hawaii errands, I am like, Josh, we need to talk about something on my social media. I don't know what I need to talk about, but I need to talk about something. Let's like go on stories. So we just started talking, and this is right after a conversation we started talking about people needing me to show up. People are waiting for Jessica to show up. So I want you to think about, as I'm telling this story, who is waiting for Amanda to show up? Who is waiting for Becky to show up? Who is waiting for Stephanie to show up? Melissa, Siobhan. I can't do that for your people. I can show up for mine, but you need to show up for yours. They might know me in passing. They might see me on your platform. They might see me in a picture with you, but they don't order because they trust me. They order because they trust you. And if you stop posting, they're going to think that you have lost the belief, not only in the products, but in yourself. And that energy really does come off. So last night, Josh and I went on our stories. We did a poll questionnaire, which if you have not done yet, go screenshot those. You can use them. I have had so much success from people responding. I was very, very shocked. It's just simple questions of like, do you have headaches? Do you have migraines? Do you struggle with bloating? Start asking about those questions of where and how it stems from our gut, and that our gut is our second brain, and people will start to respond. They want to be heard. We talk about our stories all the time on stories, on Instagram, on Facebook. How often do these people who are silently struggling get to talk about their own story? So we did that. And it was this one lady that I have been talking to for months, reached out to me, and she's liked a lot of things. She's commented, but we've really actively talked about her ordering the triplex for probably 3 months. And she commented, and all she said was, hey, I need to order 5 triplexes. And I was like, did I read that right? And I looked at the message several times. I'm like, Josh, is this right? Like, it was almost like my brain was tricking me. And sure enough, she was like, yeah, I've been talking to people. And so we leaned into getting her products paid for. And I'm like, hey, let's get you started on your journey and help you find answers. And let's help all the people that you want to help and that you've been talking to find answers too. And so we did that. And that's what got me my 300 points. So I like to look at that. This is such an example to me and to my team. If you're on my team, I want you to listen in. If you feel like quitting, it's okay. Validate it. I validated that I want to quit, that I was done, that I felt like the consistency that I was putting in wasn't paying off. I felt like the intentions I was putting in was like, what am I even doing? I'm harvesting and there's no freaking fruit. Where is it? Because I want a freaking big banana. Okay. I kept on harvesting. I was harvesting. And then even when I wanted to quit, and Nicole texted me yesterday, you guys, maybe she can chime in. And she was like, how are you doing today? And I know she was trying to ask me like, how is your heart? And I was like, bleh. All I wrote back to her, what did I write back to you, Nicole? Good. And I know she knows me well enough.
I can tell when Jess is like not happy with me. I'm like, crap, I'll just leave her be.
Like, all I wrote was like, good. I don't even care. Like, but behind the scenes, I really was in frustration, still showing up. And I'm so proud of myself that even through the days of where I want to quit, if I would have quit, this girl would have never messaged me last night. I would still be sitting at a depletion of 300 points. So I want you to know that the harvesting that you're going to put in between now, because you guys, those enrollments from the 22nd on go toward Leaders Retreat. So don't reflect on what's gone wrong with convention credits. And I'm saying gone wrong in a light of what hasn't happened for you as you're harvesting, to reflect on what's going to happen for Leaders Retreat. Because one person changed 300 credits for me. Now, granted, I earned the spa gift cards that gave me a lot of credits there, but I want you to strive going silver every month. Every single person on this call should make a commitment to themselves and their team that they're going to go silver this month and every month moving forward for the rest of the year. And helping, and we're going to go over this, helping anyone that you are getting started, so those 3 people, to go silver as well. Okay, so I want you to think about that, because every single person that you're making go silver, you're going to get 25 credits per person, just in rank up credits and the enrollments coming in. Okay, so you're going to get 15 on top of the 25 rank ups. That's what, 40 credits per person. That's so many credits, you guys, in a consistent month, on top of all of your consistency on any additional enrollments, on any level 2s that you're getting, or your, what's the other one, Nicole? Retention. People ordering from March on, which is really, really generous of Plexus. So we'll go over that. But like, I can only see Melissa's face really, and Nicole's. Amanda left me, but like, raise your hand or put a 1 in the comment if you feel like this is so out of reach. I want your honest transparency. Okay, but where does that stem from? Does that stem from reflecting on what you haven't earned in the past, and that's why you are predicting the future? Because I want you to, Melissa, I want you to shift your mindset right now to saying, okay, I haven't earned this, or I didn't get this, or my intentions didn't work here. Like, I want you to throw that garbage out the window right now and say, okay, this is my fresh start. I already know the drills of what I need to do, the systems, the tools, how to map myself out, the motive, the intentions of doing it. Because you can say all day long, yeah, I'm going to post, and then not post one post in the week. No one's going to know you're working. So what are you going to do from here forward, moving forward into earning Leaders Retreat? So we're going to go over, and Nicole and I have been listening. I just listened to Emily's video again to make sure that I tell you guys right. But honestly, you
Chime
guys,
in for just like a sec. Yeah. So last year, I actually didn't earn black tie. I don't know if you guys remember that, because you probably remember me going. And I felt like an imposter because I went as Emily Gibson's guest. Did you guys know that? I went as Emily Gibson's guest. Amanda knows that because she was there. And was I was so happy she let me go as her guest, but I had so much shame last year because I felt like I didn't earn it as an Emerald leader. And so I just want you to know, like going into this convention, I had a lot of like those doubts in my head, looking to the past of I didn't earn it last year. And I only missed it last year, I think by like 3 orders. I didn't miss it by very much. But I was like, Jess earned it and she's my level 1. So then there was that shame of like, well, my level 1 earned it and I didn't, right? Because the point system, like, she gets, if I'm just relying on people below me, if I'm not growing outside of her, like the point system decreases each level. And so I could easily just look to the past and be like, well, I can't do it. Like people are quitting. No one wants to do this. You know what I mean? But we can't look to the past for what's possible or we'll never grow. We have to look to the future for what we're creating. We have to look for this is where I'm going and I'm going to create from that space of like that embodying who I need to be her and then work from that space and not the past. If we look to the past where it's possible, you guys, oh gosh, I wouldn't be where I'm at and neither would any of you, right? Because you're where you're at now because you did something new and you developed a new skill and then you went for it and you learned. Like you were like, okay, I got this. I'm going to do something new. So, yeah, you're probably going to have to do something new to earn it because maybe you've never earned it before. But you can create that skill and you can learn it. And a lot of it is off of like duplication and retention, like Jess said. And so we're going to just like become masters at this. We got 4 months.
And the cool thing too, you guys, with Plexus is like, say you haven't held a rank this year and you re-rank, they're rewarding you for re-ranking as like a brand new rank. That's pretty dang cool for a motivation for yourself to be like, okay, what do I have to do to hit that rank? And that's going to be duplication 100%. In fact, I had to bite my tongue a little bit because about a week ago, I told Amanda and Krista, who were both reaching out to me saying like, how hard is it to earn? And in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's so easy. And actually, I feel like this year is actually not the hardest, but they have shifted the way that they're trying to reward new builders. They want new builders there. So your new silvers, your new golds, your new senior golds, they don't want the jewels there. And I say that lightly, they want an equal opportunity if you were a silver or a diamond to go there, because guess what? Those diamonds can't rely on levels 1 through 7 getting them there. They have to rely on their level 1s and 2s, which is exactly what a silver has to do. So this is where duplication for any rank, this is possible for anybody, and you get to bring someone with you. So we're going to go over that. Does anyone have any questions into this part of the call? Like you can put it in the chat or say it out loud. Any questions at all? Okay. And if you haven't already, I would highly recommend you go listen to Christy Jex's call. Sammy does a really good breakdown of what you need to do every single month to reach. I think she does the whole contest, if I remember right. And then Emily Gibson's call is really, really good too. And then Plexus also does a monthly like training call every month for a community call. You can also jump on that as well and listen in on how you can consistently retain your credits. So you guys, Autumn, I think just walked in. Oh, there she is. So Nicole, I'm going to have you take over for a minute. Like, what a surprise. I didn't know you're coming. Okay, Nicole, take over for a minute.
So I put the verbiage, or not the verbiage, like the map out in my teen thread. I don't know if you guys saw that, but what I recommend doing is you can kind of go scroll up in my teen thread. It's right here. It's right there. Okay. So I'll put, it's right here. Okay. So go look at that. If you can look right now, and if you can't right now, you can look later. But pretty much this is like a basic breakdown for someone brand new. I actually feel like it's really doable. Like I know that your brain is going to be like, yeah, but I haven't been creating silvers or whatever. It is doable. Is it going to take you honing in and learning new skills? 100%. Is it going to take work? 100%. But it is doable. So the main goal here, if you notice, it's like you're mainly trying to focus on developing someone. So the first month you're going to help them get to silver and then senior silver. And then the next month you're just helping them maintain it. Like they're not even ranking gold yet at that point. And I actually was talking, I was talking to, oh, I don't know how to get out of this, but I was talking to Krista. You're gonna have to play something else, buddy. I don't know how to get out of that. I was talking to Krista yesterday and I was telling her because she was kind of feeling, like, well, I haven't developed a silver or a gold, so maybe I'm not, maybe I can't do this. But the thing is, like, but Krista herself went senior gold, fast start senior gold. So to me, I'm like, okay, cool. If you have gone gold, if you have gone silver, if you've gone silver, senior silver, you know how to help somebody do it, period. And so my goal is to help you guys become more comfortable developing silvers. And I find for me, a lot of this stems from the belief of whether I can or I can't. Because I've told you guys this before. Hey, turn that down. Sorry, I got like loud. It's too loud. Okay. Okay, so I've told you guys this before. There was a few years ago, I really was just down on myself because I was just like, dude, I suck at creating silvers and nobody wants to do this business with me. That is how I felt. I felt that way even hitting emerald. I felt like there's no way I would have gotten here without Jess. So maybe it was just all Jess. And maybe I don't really know what I'm doing at all. Maybe I'm not a good leader at all. I actually, I wasn't really enrolling very many people for quite a while. Like I would get like some months I wouldn't get anyone. And then the next month I would get one. And then the next month I would get one. And then I wouldn't get anyone the next month. So like I was hardly enrolling anyone. And I was really not believing in my ability. I believed in Jess's ability, right? Like I was like, maybe it's just all her. There's nothing special about me. I can't do this. I can't develop people. Nobody wants to do it with me. That was my headspace 2 years ago. And then I realized maybe I'm not good at this right now, but I can get good at it. Maybe I have a lot to learn. And at the time, um, I was doubting myself because a lot of my legs outside of Jess's leg had quit. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I had some business builders and they all were quitting outside of Jess's leg. And so I really started to form the belief that like my success had nothing to do with me. Like I gave all of my power away, all of my consistency of showing up, everything. And I just thought, this isn't even me. I'm a failure. That's how I felt 2 years ago. And the interesting thing is I I had to work on me and I had to work on developing my skills. Again, I had to reteach my brain and learn new things and I had to work through my own personal things. And you guys, that valley in my business taught me a lot about myself, but it also taught me how to hone in on my skills. And I will tell you that I actually feel like I have gotten better, like at developing leaders. Like I can honestly say that since the beginning of the year, I have either developed a silver or like a level 1 or level 2 silver or a senior silver every single month since the beginning of the year. And that's like, if you guys look at where my head was at 2 years ago, like I'm proud of myself. Like I'm going to say it. Like I have worked really hard on how can I make this duplicatable? How can I be more confident in talking to people? How can I teach people what I'm doing? And that's like the whole point of my Limitless Leaders group is to show you guys exactly like step by step how to recruit and to duplicate. And that way, when you are bringing in new leaders, because I can't tell you how many of you guys, you start to get a new builder and you're like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. I want that group to be like, you go in that group and you start at video 1 and you start learning. I want that group to be a business builder training for all of the team, all of your team, including yourself. And so that's like my main goal with that. But I hope that she doesn't mind that I share this. She's not on the call, but oh, I might get a little emotional. So 2 years ago, one of my business builders that quit called me today and told me that she wants to do the business again. Okay. And she thanked me for meeting her where she was at, when she wasn't in her winning season, when she didn't feel like she could do it, and when she felt like she needed to take a step back. And she told me that she's watched me consistently, the way that I've shown up, the way that I've developed myself, the way that I'm, been working on me and making things more peaceful in my business and the way that I lead. And she now wants to do the business again. I can't even tell you how much that means to me, that like me not giving up. Like if I would have just been like, well, everyone's quitting, I'm out, peace out. Me not giving up has been a light for her, seeing that like everyone in their own season, like, like I told her, I'm like, everyone in their own season, like everyone in their own time. I truthfully believe like timing is everything for people. And imagine if I would have shamed her, blamed her, cut ties with her, burned bridges with her. No, I have loved her. And I have told her countless times over the last 2 years, I don't care whether you quit. I love you. You're my friend. So I just want you guys to see that like there is growth in this. And I honestly, as much as I want you guys to be lounging on, I've already envisioned it. Like all of our like chairs laying out and all of us just like lounging on this cruise. I've never been on a cruise before and I'm already envisioning it. As much as I want every single one of you there, I also want you to know that if for some reason you don't earn it, I don't care. You're still worthy and you are still an incredible leader. I don't want there to be shame, because when we create all this shame around like, what if I go for it and then I might not earn it and then I might fail? I don't care. Just go for it. Like just like 2 days ago was like, I can't go for black tie. I'm done. Like I'm tapped out. And you know what I told her? She's like, my capacity is full. And I'm like, your capacity is full, but God's is not. You are leaning on your capacity and you need to stop. You need to lean on God's capacity, who has limitless capacity. I truthfully believe that my capacity fills up very, very, very quickly in my life. I get overwhelmed. I'm juggling things, but God never does. And if you are feeling overwhelmed and full and like you can't do anymore, I really encourage you to lean on God's capacity in your business and to pray for the skills to be able to move forward in your business. Ask God, God, help me develop the right skills that I need in this season to not necessarily even win the cruise, to be honest. This is not about fame and glory and recognition as much as I love that. It's about helping others through. Oh, Steph, you are so Luke 1:30. Look at her. I don't know. You can unmute yourself or tell us what Luke 1:37 is. I don't have it memorized, but if not, you guys go look it up, because I truthfully believe that if you pray and ask with a desire to bless other people and to be an answer for other people, that God will give you the skills and that He will part the waves for you. Like I think about, I hope you guys are all okay with me getting religious here for a second, but I truthfully believe that God uses people that are the most unlikely, that are in their losing season, and He uses them to bring about His work. I truthfully believe this. Okay. So I saw this quote the other day and it was like, God didn't move the Red Sea, He parted it. So oftentimes in our life, we're like, that sea still looks real big. And it's like, but is He parting it? Like, you've got to find ways to move through things, even when it still seems big and massive and in your way. And He will make it possible through you, through imperfect people. Yay, Leanne. Leanne is here. Welcome back, Leanne. She is on the call for the first time in a long time. We love having you here, babe. Steph says Luke 1:37 is, with God, all things are possible. And I truthfully believe that. And you know, I have not always like talked about like God and stuff on these calls, because I don't want you guys to feel at all like I'm trying to, I don't know, use religious manipulation in any way. Because honestly, like I think that that can happen with some people, right? But I have found, for me personally, through my journey the last year, that as I have found more faith in, like I said, not my abilities, but in God's abilities to help me do things that feel so impossible, I have seen miracles come about in my business. And I'm so, so grateful for that. And um, I've been like studying a lot about all the people, you know, that were the most unlikely to succeed in the scriptures. Like if you look at their starting point of where they started, for example, Moses, he actually, he saw an Egyptian worker abusing one of his people. And he went up and he actually killed that man. He killed the Egyptian. Did you guys know that? He killed him. And it says he hid his body in the sand. And then he fled and he ran away. And then that's like where he met his wife and everything before he came back to actually do the work of setting his people free. Okay. So when you look at his starting point, his starting point was murder. Like, wouldn't you look at him in real life and be like, I'm going to judge you because you just murdered a man and you are the least likely to succeed and bring about God's glory. But we, truthfully, you guys, God uses the most unlikely people to succeed. You don't have to be perfect to succeed. And I know this is like getting all religious, but I really believe like so many of us look at our lives, our flaws, our imperfections, and we're just like, who am I? Who am I to think that I can do this? I can't tell you how many times I have had that very thought come to me where I'm like, who the heck do I think I am? Like, I'm nobody. I can't do this. And, but you're going to have to play a different game because I do not know what these games are on your tablet. There you go. But I've had that thought so many times. Who am I? Who do I think I am? Why do we think that we have to be perfect to succeed? We don't. We just have to be willing to learn and to develop the skills. And the more that I've done this, the more I have realized all this business is developing skills. And like I say, skills are learnable and they are teachable and they are duplicatable. And so let's develop the skill and the art of duplication, of helping people get their products paid for, helping invite people to do the business with you in a very relatable, real, non-pushy way. Like these are skills that you can develop. And I know that as you develop them, I know it's possible for you to earn the cruise. And so when I look at the cruise, it's in my group. If you go to Limitless Leaders, the message thread, I just put in there like, this is it, or this, it's here. If you look at this, this is a little bit of a roadmap for you. If you're brand new, if you're just starting out, or if you're not holding rank. And like Jess said, if you haven't held rank this year, so say like you've hit gold in the past, but you haven't held gold all year, you will get rank up points when you do hit it, which is so generous because they've never done this before. Like in the past, they just go off of like the rank that you haven't hit yet. But if you haven't held that rank, the next time you hit it, you're going to get rank up points. And if you look up at the rank up points for earning it, it is like if you haven't, there's like, for you, it's you get 50 points when you hit silver. You get 60 points when you hit senior silver. You get 70 points when you hit gold. So like if you haven't hit like silver, senior silver, gold at all this year, and you hit that in the contest period, you're going to get benefited greatly for, you know, starting your business back up and growing. Okay. So I feel like I'm visual, so I feel like I could talk about this all day and you guys, it might be going in one ear and out the other, but I put this little graphic in my team thread. Okay. And you can go and find this and it will tell you exactly what you need to do to earn points and you can map yourself out. So you, even though I have this like this little roadmap written up for you, it doesn't have to look exactly like this for you to earn the cruise. I just wanted to give you guys a visual of what it does look like, right? So when you're mapping yourself out, just know that it might look a little bit messier than this. But the main thing that we want you to focus on is getting 3 to 5 personal enrollments every month and developing a silver. And then focus on maintaining those points the next month. Like the previous month's orders, focus on getting them to keep reordering because you're going to keep getting those retention points on them. And so that's kind of like the main thing. Buddy, I don't know what that is, honey. Do a different game. I love the tablet, but man, when they're little and they don't know how to use it, you're like, honey, I don't even know. I'm on a call. So, yeah, so I hope that this visual helps. Does anyone have like specific questions? I know that at the beginning of the call, Jess was asking like, who feels like it's possible? Hi, Autumn at Jessica's house. Jess was like, who feels like it's not possible to earn it? And a lot of you said you felt like it wasn't possible. So I would love like if you want to put like questions that you have in the chat, or if you want to put like unmute yourself and ask questions. I want to know what your main concern is with it and how we can help you move forward with growth, developing a gold on your team. This is your main goal. Can you develop somebody to gold on your team over the next 4 months? What does your brain tell you? When I say that, are you like, no? You know what I mean? Like, are you like, that's not been happening, so probably not? What do you guys, what's going through your brain right now?
Hey, I'll just talk since no one else is. Is that okay?
Yes, go.
So like Jess and I have talked about this a little bit, but I'm like, well, hello. I've been trying to have a builder for over a year and no one has ever wanted to. I've been like just loving them where they're at. Like, what would the difference be now? If I haven't done it in the past, why would they all of a sudden want to do it? You know? And so that's where it's like, well, again, I haven't gotten them to do it in the past. Why would they do it now? And I think I have one silver, but I think they've fallen off. I don't have any active builders. And so it's just like kind of frustrating because you're like, well, I don't know. You know, you just get down on yourself. Like, I've never done it before. Why would I be able to do it now? But you know me and my sunshine, I'm like going all for it. So even just this week, I'm like, okay, if my people aren't actively doing it, then I'm going to have to find someone else that wants it. And Jessica can attest to this. I've done some really uncomfortable things this week that I haven't, that I'm like, okay, I just got to do it. I just got to push out, like just push my comfort zones. And like you guys have taught us in the past, if you don't ask, you don't get an answer. You don't get a yes, or you don't get a no. Like if you don't even ask the question. So I just like have a little doubt in myself of like, well, I've never been able to do it before. Why now? Like, what would the difference be? But I don't know. That's what goes on in my mind.
Yeah, and I mean that's a kind of similar to what I was saying, like when I was sharing my story of like last year and struggling and thinking that I don't have the ability to do it because I've never done it before. And I think this is a very human nature thought, right? I think that this is a thought that probably everyone on this call has is I haven't done it before, so it probably won't happen now. Can you guys relate to that thought? Like, how am I supposed to do it? But it's interesting because, you know, we look at like a child and like, how many of you have a child and you're helping them do something that they've never done before? Okay. And you as the parent, do you doubt? Let's use walking, for example. When your baby, just recently had this happen, when your baby is going from crawling to walking, you as a parent, are you ever like, I just don't think they're ever going to figure it out? Or are you like, no, I'm fully confident that they can do this? And they're like falling over and over. They're like falling down and they're falling down and they're bonking their head. And I mean, I know that like 1-year-olds can't really express it through words, but do they just keep going? Do they just keep trying? And then they fall and then they try and then they fall? Yeah. And you as a parent, are you ever like, yeah, they're never going to get it. Nope. Never going to get it. We're going to give up. No. Same thing for riding a bike, right? Like I helped my son learn how to ride a bike last year. And there was never a doubt in my mind. Like there was never ever the thought, gosh, like he's never going to learn how to ride that bike. Never. As a mom, I'm like, oh, it's possible. It's 100% possible. We're going to make this work. We're going to figure it out, and we're going to practice until we get there. So I want you to know, like, as a leader, this is how I see you. I never have a doubt in my mind, Amanda. I'm never like, she's just not, she doesn't got it. Nope, nope. She's never going to figure it out. Never. I'm like, she's got it. Like, she's going to do this. Like, she might fall down a few more times, and that's okay, but she will figure it out. So, and you'll see this as you have people come and join you on your team, because you're just like that one step ahead. You are going to have full confidence. You are going to see all the potential in that person. You are going to just be like, like people love her. I was just telling Leanne this today. I'm like, I have never doubted your ability, Leanne. Never. People love you. They connect with you. Right? When you like post, like interact with you, they look to you as a leader. I have never doubted Leanne's ability. The only person that's doubted her ability is herself. The only person that's doubted your ability on this call right now is yourself. Like, if you could have the belief in yourself that I have in you, or that you have in your toddler, you will learn how to develop these skills and you will do it. And so when you are developing the skill of creating a silver or finding a business builder, I want you to have the grace and the belief that you would have in a toddler learning how to walk, but in yourself. Like, when you mess up or you fall down or you send that message, I know I talked to you about this yesterday, Felicia, you send a message and you're like, probably not my best message. Wish I could take that one back. I want you to have that grace of like, that's okay. I'm learning. I might have fallen down. I learned from that. I'm going to get back up. I'm going to do better next time. Right. And so really, like, I think about silvers as riding a bike. I think about, like, you get on a bike and it's like so wobbly, and like you can kind of like hold on to the bike and start paddling with your feet on the ground, like pushing with your feet, and then kind of lift them up, and you can like kind of do it. Then you put your feet down and you feel wobbly, but then you try to like put them on the pedals. And that action alone is like, how do I balance and pedal at the same time? Like your brain, like I see this in my kids when they're learning and like their wheels are going and it's like that coordination isn't quite there yet. And then they fall down. So like if you're feeling wobbly and not coordinated in the business and creating silvers and recruiting people, you guys, you're normal and it's totally okay. And I just want you to know, like, you can learn how. Keep going. Allow yourself to fail. Give yourself grace. Jess, do you have anything? I know that you kind of got distracted. Do you remember what you wanted to talk about before you had 20 people in your house?
Have like, can you guys hear me okay? Okay. I swear Nicole's lips are delayed a little bit, maybe just on my screen. But I don't know what you guys talked about. Sorry, there was an intermission there that I had to step away. But from what I did hear, I do agree with what Nicole is talking about as far as finding the skill to duplicate isn't something that I just like came into this business and was like, oh, I'm a master at this. I came in this business not knowing how, like my little sister who would really kill it at this business, she tells me all the time, she says, I could never do what you do because I'm not a salesperson. And I'm like, and you think I am? Like, I didn't go to school to be a salesperson. I went to nursing school. And so I want you to know it's a skill that we have developed and that I know each and every one of you can develop by doing the uncomfortable things to find it being like riding your bike. Like, you guys, I'm 36 years old and I don't remember the last time I rode a bike. And the thought of putting my leg around that bent, like it's probably been last summer, it's going to feel uncomfortable for a minute and be like, ooh, okay, I got to learn to balance. I got to learn to ride my bike again. I got to learn how to wear my helmet, all of that. It's a skill that if I don't practice it within the month of doing the uncomfortable things and asking people to share, asking people to get their products paid for, asking people to shout me out, doing a live, doing a post, doing an Insta story, like all these things that I try to do each and every day of every month. if I don't do it, it's going to feel uncomfortable. So like knowing where you're at now and being like, okay, I am not a master silver developer. That's what I used to say 4 years ago. I want you to change how you talk to yourself and say, no, I am a master silver developer. What do I have to do it to feel the discomfort, to feel comfortable? And as you feel comfortable, you're going to teach your team that it's duplicatable. Because if you go to your level 1, like let's just, for example, what if I went to Amanda and I was like, hey, Amanda, you should like, do you want to pay for your products? Oh, you don't? Okay. And just like pulled back, that energy is going to be like, well, Amanda's not going to ask her people that, because if it's that uncomfortable for me to ask that, it's not duplicatable. But if you go into your new level 1 enrollment, say you get one over the weekend, and you bring up the opportunity of the business, like you do the triplex or reset or whatever you're trying to share with them, how easy is it for them to be like, wow, she's so confident in that these products are going to help me. And she's also so confident that if I start sharing right away, I'm going to get my products paid for and help 3 people in my life get the answers and the relief that I've been looking for. They're going to feel that energy from you. So if you are not bringing the opportunity of the business with every single person you're talking to, I want you to do it now. I want you to get into the rhythm and that learning that skill of being like, hey, I know that you know 3 people that have skin issues. I know you know 3 people that are struggling with their health, that struggle with migraines. Like Christy Jeck says, she always jokes, you know someone with skin. That's everybody, you guys, if you didn't know. And everyone has a butt crack. And everybody that has a butt crack needs gut health. So I want you just to start learning and developing that skill. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get doing it. And as you're doing that, guess what's going to follow? Rank credits. Guess what else is going to follow? Or not rank credits, leaders retreat credits. And then rank credits for ranking, for developing leadership skills. It's not just about the numbers all the time, right? But as you start to develop those leadership skills and leveling up and owning your team, I told Melissa this last week. I start to see shifts in people when they start owning their team. It's not their sponsor that's owning their team. It's them as an individual saying, this is my team. How can I help duplicate it? I've been able to get to silver. You guys have been able to get to silver. How are you going to help your team get to silver? You've all done it. So what are you going to do to own it, to duplicate it, and help them develop their own silvers? So Melissa, did you want to share something? I haven't read the chat, but I read something. Yes, Melissa, go ahead.
Sorry, I had to find my mute button. No, I was just gonna say, sorry, my thoughts are coming back to me after you were talking. Mostly just like, what can I do that is something new? I feel like I'm hosting events and having my team host events. I'm sharing stories, I'm posting. I'm just trying to figure out something new that I can do to attract new people.
Whenever I have that question, Melissa, in fact, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I said that exactly 12 hours ago, not even 12 hours, well, longer than 12 hours ago. I was sitting in the car last night with my husband and I was like, what have I not done in a long time to help the excitement of what I do? Because when you get in the consistency of going live or doing Insta stories or posts or whatever you're doing, it can feel redundant, right? You're like, I've already done this and I didn't get any engagement. You need to shift how to engage the people watching you. So like last night, I did this questionnaire and I've done this before. If you guys have followed me long enough, I do questionnaires often, but it's been probably since Christmas. So 5 months, 4 months. And I did this questionnaire and I am blown away by how many people have voted on there that I have personally talked to about Plexus that still has not ordered. So that to me right there shows that the things I've been doing doesn't intrigue them. They love to read the testimonials, but it doesn't hit the spot. So I need to shift something I'm doing just a little bit different to engage someone. If you've done a live, Melissa, recently, like think about it. When was the last time you went live? What kind of engagement did you get? Did you get what you were going into? If you didn't, shift the way you're doing your live. Maybe bring in someone else to do a live with you, which I know you've done, but do it in a different angle. Maybe interview someone. Maybe have someone shout you out on a live. Shift the angle of engagement because it's going to be a different audience that you're talking to each time. And I'm not saying that you've done or anyone's doing anything wrong by doing the redundant things, because a different engagement post is going to attract someone differently. The way that I asked Amanda to share is a way I would never ask anyone else in the world universe to share, you guys. Okay. And it wasn't even me asking, it was my husband. And he knew Amanda well enough. He knew Amanda before he even knew me. And he was like, oh, she just needs another builder, because he knew Amanda was competitive in a different sense than someone else. So you just have to shift, because I promise you, I asked Amanda to share for 3 years. And she was like, no. And it was just shifting 1% in the way that you're trying to attract that Amanda audience that made her say yes. So start to shift the way that you're posting. Be redundant, but bring engagement and energy. Don't feel like you're in that autopilot mode of like, I got to do my IPA today, and this is what I got to do. Shift the way that you're doing that to-do list. And I promise that different audiences will be attracted to that. And Melissa, to shout you out, I was blown away by going back to your cruise post the other day and seeing people engage that are on your team right now that have not shared about the products, right? Am I right? I saw that and I was like, ooh, Melissa's having engagement because she is shifting the way she is bringing up how to pray for your products, how to win prizes, to come with me on this cruise. That, guys, this is probably a one-time opportunity for someone that has never been on a cruise. If they haven't been on a cruise this time in their life, they're probably not going to go on one until their kids are all out of, the house. They can maybe afford it. Let's present the opportunity now that they can get on that dang boat feeling good and bring someone with them at $0 on that cruise ship. Yes, they have to get themselves there, but let's help them fill that vision and see that vision of getting on that boat. Let's give them that opportunity now. So Melissa, I don't know if that helped answer your question, but like from here on forward, I want you to list what you do redundantly. Like, what do you do redundantly that maybe sees a lot of engagement or doesn't? And if you don't have a lot of engagement on that, how can you just tweak it a little bit so that the people watching you feel the energy from you to engage back? Like, how often, like, for example, Nicole texted me yesterday and I knew her intent was, hey, how are you doing? And what did I give her back? I was resistant toward her. I was like, good. Even though in my back of my mind, I'm like, how dare Nicole? Like, because I knew her intent. But maybe if you twist the way that you're asking someone or the way that you're posting something, they're not going to be resistant back. Okay. Maybe a cruise isn't for everybody on your team. You're going to get no's, I promise. But what if $500 a month is that twist? Like if they're like, oh, I'm not intrigued by a cruise. I've already seen a no to Amanda's message. I'm in a 3-way message with her. And we already know that this girl loves the products and she's so dang stubborn. And so now I'm thinking, okay, how can we twist our way in saying, all right, a cruise isn't for you. That's totally fine. But what about, I don't know the May incentive yet, you guys. They have an incentive every single month. But what if this blink is just twisting that ask by 1% could have this girl say yes? And then who knows? What if she says yes to that one change in 1% and asking, and then she earns the cruise, right? So I want you to just think about what you're doing redundantly and change the way you're asking, because even Nicole asked me for 6 months to share the products and I was a hard no. I was like, I did not go into salesing, right? Salesman. And it was the way that she twisted her attraction to my audience. I was craving community when I didn't think I needed it. And she started to flaunt it in my face without her knowing, right? Like she was posting on social media about going to convention. So if you guys are going to convention or any kind of community gathering, post about it. People want to be seated next to you, but you have to be the one to let them know that there's a seat there to be sat. If you don't ever post about it, there's no open seat. So be okay with sharing your life on social media. You don't have to be publicly. I don't post a lot about my children, but be okay to let people see you for you and your love for, and your passion and traveling, like whatever you're doing, let them see you, because that's how they're going to build trust with you. So I know that was a lot of like,
can everybody drop in the chat what was the turning point? What attracted you to this team? Like, think about it. Because I know I have asked Felicia several times to share her story, and she's either ignored me or said, not right now. I've asked, you know what I mean? Like I've asked, I remember Liska, the first time we talked to her about sharing, she was like, nope, not doing it. Like, I think every single person on my team has told me no before they have told me yes. So what was the turning point? What was it that you saw that made you want to do the business and join the team? Liska says, my sister Nicole, the community. Wait, I'm missing some. Daily Reels, getting my pink drink prepared, getting a lot of interaction. That might have been before. But that's awesome. Good job, Liska. Proud of you. Community, getting my products paid for, and FOMO of all the fun the community has together. Becky took me to a retreat and the money was appealing. I wanted the products covered. Love that. A lot of it, like I know for Kate, who isn't on the call, but she's Liska's sister, I talked to her like 3 times about doing the business and I could not read her. Like I was like, she doesn't seem opposed to it, but like she won't give me anything. Like I can't read her. I don't know what she's thinking. And then last minute, I invited her to go to the retreat last minute. And she was like, I think I can make it work. And she came, and that's what pushed her over to share. So I feel like like the energy that they feel when they see the community or they're part of the community, I feel like that's huge for people because people don't want to just sell something if it doesn't feel aligned with their heart. When they feel the alignment, that's when I feel like their heart shifts to it. Let me see. Let's see. I said no because I was busy with my photography business and my family, but I began to see how much energy I was getting from the triplex within a few days I wasn't napping, so I had to start sharing publicly. Basically, I saw the products working and decided to share. Love that. I wanted products covered and began to see that I could have the life that I wanted, that I told myself I couldn't have. Love that. So yeah, I mean, use these ideas of like, ooh, that's kind of like what appealed to people. How can I show them that in my life to attract them? Does that make sense? Like, be that attraction for other people. Like, I had asked Jess to share so many times, and it wasn't until she saw me in the community posting about the community and the convention and the things that really attracted her. I feel like when people see your heart and what you're about, that's a huge motivator for people. So if you're not showing people that, find ways to show that or to talk about it, and to create that kind of connection as well. So I think that's a big one. And like Jess said, it can be different for everyone. Like it could be the money for someone else. It could be, just getting their products covered. It could be different tools. And so just know it might not be the same for everybody. And so when you're talking about it with people, try to feel what they're lacking in their life, what they need. You know what I mean? Anyways, Jess, if
I
you
wanted to add really quick, you guys, before we end the call. I want you to move forward like from here into 2023, the rest of the year. You guys were almost halfway through the year. That's crazy. I want you to lean into white lines as much as you would a prospect. So like when you think about your prospect list and the funnel that you're creating for people that you want to order, I want you to start filling that funnel with white lines. And the reason why I bring this up is because white lines will come back or they're always watching. You already know that they have interest in the products. You already know they struggle with their health. You already know their why of why they reached out to you originally. And I think in our mind, we think, oh my gosh, it didn't work for them. They don't like me. They said no to me. They turned off their sub. And we put kind of a barrier in between like that real genuine reason of why we are doing what we are doing, right? And so as you move forward, I want you to start putting your funnel and I want you to go through your back office in the next week. And I want you to make a funnel, literally create a funnel or a list. And I want you to list anyone you've ever talked to Plexus about that is a prospect that you are like, oh, I hope she orders this month. And then on top of that, I want you to continue that list by looking through your back office. And I want you to write down every single person that is a white line. If they have not ordered in the last 6 months, I want you to clear their account. If you don't know how to do that, it's super easy. You can send an email into the help center, or you can call in and ask them to clear their account. But I want you to keep their name in your funnel, and I want you to message them just like you would with that anxious feeling of reaching out to a prospect wanting them to order. They are still a prospect, even though they're in your back office. I am a true believer on this, you guys. And Nicole, I don't think she'll care if I share this, but Nicole messaged me this morning about one of her white lines that has been a white line for, I don't know how many months, but a long while. And now she's back ordering. And it's because Nicole continued to treat her where she was at and love her where she was at, but she was still considered that anxious feeling. Like, who gets that anxious feeling when you're like, oh my gosh, this person is within inches of ordering and I'm going to help her get started? I want you to think of a white line like that. Go back to them, love them where they're at, recommend a new regimen. If they have a deal within your team or within Plexus, or there's a free bottle of Ease, you guys, there was a $37 value that Plexus was giving white lines this month. I don't know if you knew that, but from the 1st to the 15th, if that white line would have placed an order of $149 worth of product, that's a white line right there. And you didn't have to offer free shipping. You didn't have to pay $10. You didn't have to twist their arm. Plexus did that for you. And they are planning on doing this every single month in a different way to reach out to these people. So take that blind, that barrier that you have away, shatter it right now. And I want you to treat it, because that will help grow your business too. So that's all I've got from me today. Let's just dig in this next couple of days, you guys. We still have a solid 3 days of the month, the 28th, 29th, and 30th, and the rest of today. So let's really make intentions to create some magic. You know that the end of the month magic is real, and we're here to help support that. So we love you guys. Thank you for joining us today. And I hope to see you all on that boat in November. Love you guys.
Guys, bye.